Hello, how are we? I hope you're well. I'm still waiting for Mike to meet. Mike to meet actually started like 5 minutes late. I had to start 5 minutes early, so I waited till the middle. I waited 1 minute. I was like, I'm starting. Um, so we are now live. Welcome to everybody or anybody that is here. Mike to meet will be um, joining in a second, I'm sure. Um, okay. Hey, my favourite Josie's here. Well, Josie, you're the only one that is watching. Literally, you're the only one consistent person I see in here. I never see anybody else. You are the only one that's ever spoken that I've seen. Well, I mean, there was a stream, our first ever one. There's lots of people, fine. But since then, literally the only person I've ever seen come into my stream in this stream. So yeah, you were number one. Got to be number one. You know, who else is there? Do we Mike Demi? Mike Demi's not even here. So I just don't like to start things late. So Mikey will join us. He will join us some point. Um, just he hasn't done so yet. Hang on, let me change accounts here. Let me go to the Almighty Sports Twin account. Um, thanks, Josie. Well, because you are number one and Mikey's not here, so Mikey, mate, if you're watching this, fuck it. Um, I've got that there. Welcome, Josie. You are now a mod. I made you manager moderator, so you're the first ever mod for this channel. And I haven't even discussed it with Mike Demi. Just made you a mod. Fuck it. I know he'll probably make Shenny a mod, so there you are. People come, oh, I'm not bothered. Do you know what? I have so much fun, Josie. I'm having so much fun. I'm in my bag. I'm in my bag. Honestly, I'm loving it. I'm not even complaining. Genuinely loving it. More than I think anyone can imagine. I just enjoy talking football. I generally do. That might be weird for people because I'm obviously from Wales, but I just love this is my passion. This is not like work. This is something I find trials and stuff. I find that like work. I find this is just like I wish I could do this for a living. I'd love it. You know what I mean? You're more than welcome. You see, reward those that support. So I do appreciate you sharing it. I'm bad at stuff like that as well. Um, so I don't know where Mighty Meat is. I have no idea. So I'm just going to kick off with it anyway. Um, done a little bit of a presentation. Um, yeah, exactly. I'm learning. Also, I'm making mistakes and I'm learning. What's your? Are you looking forward to the Bills Steelers tonight? Because that's going to be bang bang. Do you know what I mean? That's just going to be probably boring. Not boring, but it's running game. Like I was saying earlier on, I'd rather have a game like Dallas Green Bay or Texas Cleveland than to have a game where it's just maybe a 6-3 game or something like that. So Mikey's the opposite. He likes a close 6-3 games. I just prefer to get it slinging. I prefer every stadium to have a roof. The roof, the roof, the roof is on fire. I prefer all that. Do you know what I mean? So there's no cancellations personally. But I am from the UK, so what can I say? It's gonna be cold outside in the month of May. I know it's cold. It's even cold in Wales, let alone in America. Right, let's get this. This is head coaching, searching, right? Yeah, we're still your team. Yeah, I don't want a close game. I just don't like these 9-6, 6-3 kind of 7-10 games. They're fine. They are fine. Um, but there's some I'm not keen. Dave Umberger, we were speaking about you this morning. Dave, have you seen the video Josie was there. She was there when it happened, Dave. I did a wheel spin, right, to see which team I'm going to be a supporter of moving forward. And it landed on the Bears, Chicago Bears. So I'm going to be a Chicago Bear fan now from now on. And people, I mean, people must think, oh, whatever, dude. Whatever. I'm all in. I'm all in. I I was as well. I was rooting for the Packers as well. I'm all in on the Bears now. Eberfruit polls. Let's go. So I'm all in now, Dave. So you, me, and Mighty Me have got a rivalry going on now. So and Aaron Hack. Sorry, Aaron Hack is Vikings. So that's a foursome. What a foursome that is, Dave. Oh, I love your son. See, you and my son. Me and your son have something in common. Happy days. There we are. I'm all in. I promised myself whichever team, because what I was going to do, Josie, was do a video of it. But I just had this thought. Now I don't think I would have done it, but I just had this thought of what if it lands on a team like the Buccaneers? I would be gutted. I'd be gutted. I was worried I wouldn't post it. I think I would have posted it. I got to believe in myself that I would have posted it. I would have been gutted. So that's why I did it live. You know, I was thrilled. I loved it. Bears take Harrison first. Bit. I don't know, Dave. I don't know. But go Pack, go, man. The Packers are fantastic. Packers, I believe, got the 49ers next. Bang, bang. So, bye bye. Bye bye, Packers. Bye bye, Packers against the 49ers. But they've done well. I hate Cowboys as much as Vikings. There you are. Right, let's get this baby up. Let me present this. My team, he can join whenever he comes in. Whenever he comes in, he can join. Entire screen. Is it this one? Playing the Cowboys. And Sarah P, anybody except Philadelphia. She hates Philadelphia as well. She. So, these are some of the candidates I put down. There's more candidates, like Rich Bisaccia. For example, I love Rich Bisaccia from the Packers. Also, Joe Barry. Joe Barry's another one. You know, he did well, Dave, last night. So obviously, the key players, Jim Harbaugh, he's got an interview with the Chargers coming up. Bill Belichick, Ben Johnson, he's the hot name of everything. Dave Canales, or whatever. Well, I mean, you've got to give him credit for what he's done with Baker, Baker Mayfield this week, this year. Um, Mike McDonald. I think Mike McDonald is going to be a favourite. He is actually an outstanding head coach. Will be an outstanding head coach, I think. Dan Quinn, Raheem Morris, Jeff Ulrich. This is going to be an interesting one. I don't think that he will get a position, but um, he's on the radar. Patrick Graham, obviously. Brian Callahan, he's a hot name as well. Antonio Pierce, everyone thinks he's with the Raiders. Personally, I wouldn't pick him, but there we are. That's just me. Steve Wilkes should have been the Panthers coach last year. Mike Vrabel. Oh, I got Dan Quinn down twice, have I? Shit. There we are, Dan Quinn twice. Leslie Frazier, uh, Eric Bieniemy. People think he's going to get a job this time around. Bobby Slovic. He's a 1 year wonder. He's a fantastic though with CJ Stroud. Ijorio Ivero. He was close to getting the what do you call it? Denver Broncos job. Um, he's good. He's good. And Aaron Glenn. I don't think Joe Barry is going to get it. I don't think he's gone. I don't. I wouldn't. I don't see him as a head coach. I don't see him as a head coach. So, well, I was waiting to see if anything came out. So I think by tomorrow we'll know if he's out or not. We'll know by tomorrow. I think if Dallas are going another direction. Um, I said on the stream this morning, if a me get Dak out, Dak needs to go. So I'm not sure that the head coach is the issue. I think it's Dak. He's just not good enough. I don't think Dak is good enough. My personal view. But I retract, right, as well, Dave. I said in a previous video with Mike DeMeat that I didn't think J Love was a guy. Didn't think he was the guy. But wow, he's impressed me. He's impressed me a great deal. He has, Dave. You you got the guy. You got the guy. Um, hang on, I need to shut this door. People are shouting and stuff like that. Bear with me. Oh, he's okay. He wanted Peyton, didn't he? Peyton's not available. Belichick's available. So we'll go through it now. We'll go through some of these things now, right? So those are some of the candidates. Obviously, you've got Joe Barry. You might think that he's going to be there. I don't think he will. But so first one, obviously Belichick, Patriots. Bye bye, bye bye, baby. 24 years. 24 years gone. Jared Mayo in. So I'm not sure what I feel about this hire. I think it's he was given it. Obviously, he played there for 8 years, coach. I don't know. I don't know. They're obviously loyal. They're keeping it in house and stuff like that. Which you can say, oh, that's good, whatever. But I'm not sure. I don't know. I think the reason I'm not high on this guy is because the only way he knows is a Belichick way. It's the it's the Bill way or the highway. So that's why and we've seen how Bill Belichick's tree has done in other places. So I'm not a big fan of this kind of hire personally. But good luck to him. I think the players respect him. I think that they'll play for him. That's for sure. I mean, I can imagine people coming into the stream now if they don't know me, going, "What the fuck is this Welsh guy speaking about bloody Patriots for?" Because I see people coming in and leaving. Um, so yeah, I'm not high on this hire. I'm not high on it. I don't think it's the right hire. I know he's looking at his staff now. It's not for me. It's not for me. Um, apparently, word on the street is that he was supposed to take over next year. Bill was supposed to do one more year, 25 years, and then walk away. But they shook hands to get rid of him this year because of how bad it went. Also, it makes sense. Clean shop, start from scratch. They got the number 3 pick, so they can get a new quarterback. If they want to go quarterback, it's up to them. I don't think Bill would have gone quarterback if he was still there. So that's why I think that they know, right, okay, let's assess Mac Jones and Zappy and see which way we're going. Obviously, they've got Cunningham as well. So I don't know. We'll see what happens. I'm just not very high on it. I think there's for me, my pick would have been Vrabel for the Patriots. My pick would have been Vrabel. He's been there, done that. He's been played there, won Super Bowls there, coached at a high level, coached in different positions. Started off with coached at a high level, coached, been a head coach, very well respected, and I think he would have stepped in there, instant respect from everyone and people would have played for him. It's not to say Jared Mayo won't have instant respect, because I think he will, but it's different to have respect as a linebackers coach or something than be respected as a head coach, where you've been there, done that. How does he do it when they're down in the trenches and stuff like that? He can't act like Bill Belichick, because there's only one Bill Belichick. So we'll see. So there's that one. Carolina Panthers. Oh, by the way, just so people know, I'm going to the dentist tomorrow. I think I've chipped a tooth or something, because my tooth's in pain. So 12:30. So I should be back. 1, 2. I should be back. Oh yeah, I will be back in time for the trial. So it's all good for the cricket trial. So it's all good. So this is probably the worst job in football. This has got to be up there. Do you remember Cleveland Browns a few years ago that no one wanted to touch it? Hugh Jackson was there and stuff like that, and people blaming ownership. So this job's worse than that, I think. This job's worse. I mean, from what I see, Charlotte is a beautiful place. People should be flocking there to go and work. But, 2 words: David Tepper. So David Tepper is the biggest issue with Carolina Panthers. That's why people won't want to go there. He's always going to get a head coach, and he's also looking for GM as well now. He's interviewed some head coaches already. Why would you want to go there? You would have to be so desperate to go there. I mean, I can understand some people why. I understand if Steve Wilkes goes back there, or I'm trying to think, like a second-year coach, like somebody that is just desperate to become a head coach again. But I don't think there's that many out there. I think you got Steve Wilkes, but I don't think you got that many out there. Don't think people like Dan Quinn would, up ship and go to the Panthers. Now, rumor has it is that Ben Johnson is the front runner, obviously, from Detroit Lions OC. I don't see it. I don't think he's going to go there. I don't think he wants to go there. The only way I think that anybody would touch this team, in all honesty, is if, the only way I would go and be the head coach of Carolina Panthers is if you offered me a 10-year contract, 150 million, with a baseline of 10% rise every year, so it becomes like 180, 190 million. And it's fully guaranteed. So I know I'm getting between 150 and 200 million at the end of it. So if he wants to sack me after 2-3 years, then no worries, I still got 200 million coming to me. That's the only way that I would want to be a head coach there. He doesn't have the patience. He gave Matt Rhule a 7-year contract, and he saw it through 3 years, but he lost his patience. I think he'd have gone after 2 years if he could have. So I don't see anyone going there. Like Ben Johnson, I don't see going there unless he's got a hefty contract. And personally, I'm not sure Ben Johnson's the best fit for that organisation. I think you see when Frank Reich was there, they didn't really play for him. He was just too fancy. And I think the defense is good. I think they need a CEO in there, not like a Steve Wilkes kind of head coach, rather than a first-time head coach. You need a strong head coach in there that a player's going to fight for both sides of the ball. And for me, someone like a Steve Wilkes would be good. I don't know who else I would go there. I don't think I would go Brian Flores or anything like that. I think it would be. And I don't think someone like Dan Quinn would want the job. I think only someone like Steve Wilkes would take that job. I mean, there will be people that will desperately take the job, but I just think it's a big mistake for your career if you do take the job. Now, obviously, you take it and turn it around and you're a hero, but you ain't got much time to turn around. So if I was Ben Johnson or any of those coaches, I'd want a long ass contract and fully guaranteed contract as well. So Seahawks, obviously, Seahawks. Pete Carroll gone. Doesn't want to be gone. He says it wasn't a decision made by non-football guys, is the way he put it. So it's not football guys that made that decision. So Pete Carroll gone. That's a huge loss. I think the guy can still coach. I think he's got another 2, 3 years in him. But they decided not go now. I don't know. That was a bit of a shock. I think he's got a good culture going up there. So I think you need a culture guy going in there. So I always thought maybe I don't know. Oh, no, I'm thinking about who would suit there. Seattle in the cold, out the way. It's not the most attractive job in the world in terms of location. And I'm speaking out of turn there. I've never seen it. I just know that the weather's not great there. Um, so yeah, I don't know who would go there. I think they've got a good team, but I don't know. I'm interested to see how this one plays out. Depends on whether their OC leaves or not as well, because you know, he's got offers ticking this year. So yeah, I'm struggling with this one. I don't know who's going to go there. I'm struggling with the name I was thinking. Hang on, let me go back to start. Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn. I wouldn't be surprised if Dan Quinn ended up here. He's coached there before. He knows the culture. He knows everything about it. He's got to look at this. This is his second and probably last opportunity. Does he want to be there? I think it's a good place for him to go. I think it's a solid organisation. It's a family organisation. Um, great, great GM, John Schneider. So I think Dan Quinn would be a good fit. My only worry is depends on who he's got on the offense. Who's he going to bring out with him to get that team going, keep it ticking over, keep DK Metcalf happy and stuff like that. Yeah, I just think Drew Lock is talented. He needs somebody to guide him. Um, so I don't know. Yeah, so for me, Dan Quinn might be a pick here. Now they might want to go young and whatever, but I just think there's something about this organization that makes me think that they would want someone like solid. Mike McDonald's another one that's quite solid, and he's young. That he might be a fit here as well. And actually, he would fit right in here. I think they want to have someone with defense experience. Dan Quinn, Mike McDonald. I think they would suit this organization. Right, Raiders. Antonio Pierce basically has got the job, or apparently so. I, I, I just don't like it. I know he did well for like 6, 7, 8 games, whatever it was. Just don't like cup of tea. He's got zero. Well, not zero experience, but he's lacking so much experience. And I know Max Crosby said if you don't give him the job, then we're gonna. I want to trade and stuff like that. Max, I love Max Crosby, but pipe the fuck down, Max. Do you know what I mean? Just chill out. You're not going to win anything with Antonio Pierce. You're not going to win anything with him. So just pipe down and let the process play out. Now, it's interesting with this one because this is one of the destinations I can imagine Mark Davis would have looked at Belichick because Mark Davis is infatuated by Bill Belichick, infatuated by the way the Patriots way. He's infatuated by them. That's why he got in Dave Ziegler and Josh McDaniels. Now we know how that turned out. Absolute complete disaster. So has that now for the skids on it for him to decide, actually, I don't want the Belichick way. The players don't like it. Players don't like it. So I'm going to avoid it. He might look at it and go, I want the Jim Harbaugh way. Or for me, actually, this would be a fit for Seahawks as well. Vrabel. Vrabel would fit the Seahawks as well. But I think Raiders, I think getting Vrabes into the Raiders would be a good good spot for both of them. I think for the team and for we've seen what Vrabel does with nothing, and I think that he would do well with the Raiders. But I hadn't thought about actually with Seattle as well. They're very similar to the Patriots, the weather and stuff like that. So maybe Vrabel could go there as well. So yeah, we'll have to see who goes where, but I could see somewhere like this where Ben Johnson could end up because I think he's got skill set with QBs, so this would actually be quite a good spot for him. But Antonio Pierce, I know they're going to select Antonio Pierce. I just wouldn't. I just wouldn't do it personally. I'd rather get Rich Bisaccia back there. This is exactly why. I totally agree with him. I totally agree with him. This is why I don't think he suits the Raiders way. Even though Mark Davis loves Belichick and the Patriots way, I think he'd be making a huge mistake going Belichick. Because of what you just said. He's too old school, and he doesn't see it because look how they reckon Josh McDaniels, who does it the Belichick way. It didn't play for him, so there's a spot I think Belichick could go to, but there's only one spot I think two spots possibly, but only one I would put him in. So this one, it's a bit open. Depends where other pieces go. I can see Ben Johnson there. I can see Vrabel going here or Seahawks, and Antonio Pierce is going to be here. So I just wouldn't put him in it. Not for me. I wouldn't hire Antonio Pierce. Now this is a spot I can see Belichick. They are desperate for him. Arthur, good old Arthur Blank. He loves Belichick. I don't love Belichick here. What? I got a bloody copyright. How have I got a copyright? I got a copyright. Bear with me. Just checking what this copyright's about. I alternate call it copyright content has been protected in the video sentencing phase. Jonathan Quill's death penalty trial versus the copyright owner is now either monetizing it or receiving analytics about it. This is not a copyright strike. It does not affect its channel. Audio, you're an absolute pieces of shit. You fuck dicks. Whatever, that's my other channel. The alternate corner, go and subscribe. Bastards. That's why I swear on this channel, because I can swear right now on this channel. I don't think that Belichick should go here. I don't think they're ready. Jeez, no, it's not. I don't think they're ready for him. They need a new QB. They got pieces, yes, but they're not good. They're not going to win the Super Bowl in the next couple of years. So I don't think it's a ready-made team for Belichick. Who goes here though? It's a fairly stable job. I'm surprised that they didn't give Arthur Smith another year. I'm surprised, if I'm being honest, but I think this is a kind of place for Mike Macdonald, that kind of Callahan, that kind of younger generation. I think they've gone offense. I think they need somebody that can concentrate. I think they need a CEO and then having an OC that can concentrate on quarterbacks and the offense, not having like a Ben Johnson in there. So I think they'll want to go for Ben Johnson, but I think like a Mike Macdonald, I'm bringing Mike Macdonald up a lot because that's how much I rate him. He's a DC with the Ravens, but I like him a lot. So yeah, I don't know. I think you need a younger generational person in here. They got the pieces, Robinson, Pitts, and a couple of others as well. But they got pieces on the offense. They need to shore up the defense, and they could be a team, but they just need somebody in there. I don't have a name that I'd put in there. Um, Obviously, Dan Quinn can't go there. Vrabel won't go there. I don't think. Um, yeah, Ben Johnson, Callahan, Mike McDonald's. It's endless. I don't know which way they're going to go, but I know that they really, really like Belichick. But I think that's a huge mistake. I think they're not ready for Belichick. I don't think they're ready for him. For the exact reason that Josie said about the Raiders. Too old school, relatable to a lot of younger players. And a lot of the Falcons are young players, so we'll see. That's an interesting one. Washington. Now, this I think is a very desirable. I think this is a very desirable place to be. New GM from San Francisco. I forget his name now, but new GM. This is a place that every head coach should be like, boom, I want to go here. New ownership group. They're starting everything. Washington's a place that I think is, for me, the place to be, the place you should want to be. Number two pick in the draft. World's your oyster. New QB if you want it. Um, I think you need to break it down. The team they got rid of two good pieces during the season. Montez Sweat and I don't remember Chase Young. Um, Two very good pieces, but I think this is a place to be. Again, if I was Ben Johnson, and people think that he's the hottest name to trot now, if I'm Ben Johnson, this is a spot I want. You get to basically choose your quarterback for the future, who you want, whether you stick with Sam Howells or whether you go with somebody else. You got that choice, and I think that you got some really really nice pieces on the offense as well. And I think you need to then spend the draft. Again, you got Robinson, you've got I don't remember the names now, but a couple of good McLaurin, a couple of good, really good wide receivers there, and I think defense needs to be stronger. But good draft, good couple of drafts could do you wonders. Now, if you decide you stick with Sam Howell, okay, ballsy, but okay, then you can trade that pick up a lot more, probably number one for next year as well. So you'll have multiple number ones next year. So I think this is a very exciting destination to go to, and I think it's a destination I would be very tempted to go. This is a place for me, the team to go for. I think. Um, so yeah, I think this will be how highly recruited. I think Vrabel will want this job. I think that Ben Johnson, McDonald, everyone I think will want this job. So just have to see how they play it. That's just my personal view. People could disagree. I just think it's an exciting place to be right now, especially with the second pick in the draft. Whew. Last one. Oh, hang on, hang on. Look who's woken up.
We're hard at work, so.
Mighty meat pretended to work. He was fast asleep. He was.
No, I was working. I
I'm
wish I
joking,
was
mate.
fast asleep.
No, I'm joking, buddy. It's all good, buddy. It's all good. This is last team. This is last
Oh,
team. Yeah. Uh,
okay,
I I've gone through them all. Well, I mean, we can get your view on them all as well.
okay.
I'll give my analysis on the last one, and then we can go back and see your analysis compared to mine. This one, Harbour is going to interview for it. I think he's a favourite. I think he wants to go there. I think this would be a good place for Ben Johnson as well. There's many positions I've said, Mikey, that I don't think Ben Johnson should go to.
Hmm.
But I think this one in Washington are definitely two places he should be considering. Um, so yeah, I think this is a good place. Picking up, I mean, ownership's not great, but they're picking quite up. They've got a really good team. They've got a really good core here. It just hasn't worked. You've got a
Yeah.
fantastic QB, and you've got I think the core base of this team is incredible. Just hasn't clicked. So I think this is for me, my number one spot for me for any head coach, aspiring head coach, would be Washington. This is my number two. I think this is, ignore the taxes. This is as well going to be a hotter trot place to be, I think. So going, where are we? I'll still give him some analysis, but we just talking about Jared Mayo. I just said my brief analysis is I don't like this selection. I would have rather had Vrabel here, but
Yeah.
he's obviously been given the job. I just don't like it. I don't think he doesn't know any other way except for the Bill Belichick way. We know how that works out. I think great. People have respect for him as a positional coach, but as a head coach, that's completely different. I think they made a boo boo. I think they should have gone for Vrabel, and I don't think he's going to be there that long.
No, I agree. I think that if you wanted Bill Belichick 2.0, then why didn't you just keep the original?
Yeah.
We see it doesn't work without somebody magnificent like Tom Brady. So it should be perfect time for you to kind of switch gears and try something new, but it's obviously not the direction they went. So
No, I agree. Right. My brief analysis of this is the only way that I would touch this job is if I was guaranteed a 10-year contract with 150 million, between 150 and 200 million, fully guaranteed. And then if he wants to sack me after 2 years, then fine, I'll have my 200 million and I'll go wherever. But I wouldn't go there otherwise. I just think this is the worst job in football. I think he's got one of the worst owners in football. You've got one of the most beautiful cities, I believe, in America. Just no one wants to go here anymore. I think free agency is going to be tough because of the owner. He doesn't stick, man. He just, you know, I don't rate Bryce Young that highly either, but I don't know. I think if the only person that should take this job, I said, was Steve Wilkes. He should have been given it last year, and I would take this job for Steve Wilkes. But anyone else, I won't touch it. So, what was your analysis?
Hot take, and I just heard your one about the last one. I would take the Panthers job over the Chargers job any day of the week. I think the Chargers are cancer and proof that when you have terrible ownership, it makes everything else slide downhill. The Chargers are probably top 5 talented teams in the entire NFL, and they can't win football games.
Yeah.
I think the Chargers are cancer. I don't put them much ahead of the Chargers job, but yeah, I think the Panthers job is going to have to be some young guy that's not established, probably a guy we haven't even heard of yet. That's going to have that ownership, and I think that constant battle with ownership, and I almost think it's a job that's just a stepping stone. Make the playoffs, win a couple games, and get the hell out of Carolina.
Yeah,
for a young guy.
My only thing about that is David Tepper. I don't think he's going to get any opportunity to get there. I think he got 2 years.
Yeah.
That's my. And this year they haven't got a pick in the first round, so the new GM is going to have to. Do you know what I mean? This would have been. Do you know what? This would have been an ideal job, right? Had they got the number 1 pick in the draft, it would have been a job that I would have wanted. The fact that they got the number 33 pick and no number 1 just makes it so disgusting for me. Because David Tepper, he just doesn't have patience. So you'd have to get fully guaranteed. The only pushback I got about getting someone young in this is the fact that this might be a one and done. It's so rare. If you're Ben Johnson, there's no way you go to the Panthers. No way.
No.
Because you're so highly regarded. You can't. Because if you go in here and you fail in 2 years, you're never going to get another head coach job. You're never going to get one. So you've got to really make it count. I can't see anyone making it count with the Panthers. That's why I think an old school guy like Steve Wilkes for me is ideal. He can get it humming. And, he's been around. he'll get a job tomorrow if he ever gets sacked there. Where I think anyone else, they would struggle to get a job afterwards. That's my only take with it. That's the only reason I think it's the worst job in football. But anyway, I
I'm gonna
get point.
I'm gonna call a name, and I hate to see it happen this way, but Aaron Glenn, defensive coordinator for my Detroit Lions, he hasn't been given the same respect that I think he needs to for turning around that defense. He's made it no secret that he wants a head coaching spot, and Carolina might just be desperate enough to give it to him, and he might just be desperate enough to take it.
Take it. Yeah, I think it's going to be something like that. Steve Wilkes, Aaron Glenn, Joe Barry, we said maybe from the Packers. We're naming defensive guys here, but I think you're right. It's going to be of that ilk, of that mold. I agree with you. There will be a name out there that we haven't heard of or not sure about that will be on the offense. A name that they might punt at, which I can't, what is Mike LaFleur? Fleur. Is it Mike? He's obviously 2 years with the New York Jets, didn't really work out, but then he's now with Sean McVay. It's someone like that. I'm not saying it's him, but somebody like that you'd be like, what? But he might just say, fuck it, let's just go. Do you know what I mean? He could just go off the Sean McVay name and just be like, yeah, I can do this. And so I could see that happening as well. So that goes back to your a young guy we never heard of kind of an analogy. So I think, that could be a shout as well. So, right. Right, let's see your one on here, and then I'll tell you who I had here. What do you think?
I had a good name, and then I don't know. I almost think you get a guy like what's his name? Bieniemy up here potentially.
Yeah.
But Pete Carroll's not stepping away. He's just stepping to a different. I mean, it's still going to have Pete Carroll's name all over it. You're going to have to contend with that. And yeah, I mean, good young roster for the most part. You desperately need a quarterback. You're not going to get one in the draft this year because you're picking. Well, I mean, you probably will.
Good.
But there's not one. Unless Pete Carroll steps down entirely, if I'm anybody who has any staying power, I mean, Belichick could be a guy up there.
Yeah, I don't see it, but I just think egos, him and Pete. I don't think they'd mesh.
Right. No, I don't think anybody's going to mesh well with Pete Carroll still in the job. But if you could talk Carroll into actually stepping away for Belichick, I think that would be the ideal move for the program. But
I go on.
No, you're good.
Oh, sorry. I sort of put across. Sometimes I'm the same. I put you pause. I'm not sure if you'd finish. Sorry, my bad there. I got a name for you. I think this is the guy that could handle Pete. Has worked with Pete. Respects Pete. Would tap into Pete's knowledge and do well with him, and that's Dan Quinn. I like Dan Quinn here because I think Dan Quinn, that defense, he'd have them humming, he'd have them going, and I think Pete would want a lot of influence maybe on the offense, and I think he could bounce stuff off him. I think he could appease Pete. I think he could appease him, still have him involved, and I think Pete would be bouncing for Dan Quinn because they've worked together. Dan Quinn was obviously his DC many years ago, so I think that could be a spot where Dan respects him, knows how worthwhile having him there would be. And I think that the players would enjoy having him around and seeing Dan and him Still bouncing stuff back and forth. I don't think Dan Quinn has an ego where I think if it was anyone else, maybe he would have an ego, but I think it's Pete and the respect he has for him, knowing these players love Pete, play for him. So
Yeah.
let's use Pete as a voice, in that locker room. That's how I see it. Dan Quinn for me is perfect fit here. Just needs Shane Waldron or whatever to stay as OC or to get a decent OC in, and then I think the Seahawks be good. I like the Seahawks. I think they're a family-run, very good family-run organization, and I like their GM Schneider. I think he's fantastic, and I think it's a very solid place to be. I don't think it suits Bill Belichick only because I think Bill's got a couple of years left and he wants to go to a Super Bowl ready winning team. I think.
Yeah.
And I think the Seahawks are not there. If he was around for another 10 years, Seahawks might be a plan for him. But yeah, for me, Dan Quinn would be. I could see Mike McDonald or something like that go in there from Baltimore, but Dan Quinn for me would be a great pick.
What about a guy who had a hot coaching career in college, like Pete Carroll, and is kind of flamed out for the most part? What about Lincoln Riley?
Yeah, USC.
Yeah.
My only thing with Lincoln Riley is I'm not sure what's happened to him. Since he left Oklahoma,
Mhm.
he doesn't seem as hot or as good now. Do you know what I
Right.
mean? I I think I look at Cliff Kingsbury and I'm like, you're getting Cliff Kingsbury 2.0,
Mhm.
essentially. Probably a better version of Cliff Kingsbury in fairness. But yeah, he could be. Would it suit him? I don't know him well enough to know if it would suit him. Would people like? I like what Deion Sanders says, right? Prime time's like he can never coach in the NFL,
Yeah.
never, because he sells it to school kids and young adults. He leader of men is totally different, and I'm not sure if
Mhm.
Lincoln Riley, is he going to be a leader of men? I think that's where Cliff Kingsbury he struggled, and I see the difference between Pete Carroll and Lincoln Riley is Pete is bouncing everywhere. He's 70 years old, still bouncing. He's great. He's got a personality where I don't think Lincoln Riley's got the personality or got that
Mhm.
kind of personality where he could get people to buy in. That would be my only criticism. I think 2 years ago I probably would be bought in with you, but right now I don't know. I would see it personally, but
Yeah, there's a lot of USC connection there. Obviously, there's a lot of the similar coaching path. There's the fact that you have to take into account that the USC Trojans are going to the Big Ten next year and about to get shit stomped probably 9 games a year.
mhm.
So like it's not going to be a comfy seat, and he might see it as, hey, it's time to skate. I'm probably not going to get another college job right now. Let's try the NFL. So
Well, I was going to say to you, throw it back to you. What about Lincoln Riley for Michigan?
Michigan is a cult, and
Yeah.
they won't take anybody who's not a quote Michigan man. So you
Okay.
have to have somebody that went to University of Michigan, um, and is from the area. They're ridiculous about that. So anybody that's going to is going to be from Southeast Michigan and a graduate of Michigan, University of Michigan. So
Okay. Well, that's him out then.
yeah,
No, I just thought, but that'd be a team that he might want to go for, So,
yeah.
but yeah, we'll just have to see with that one. Um, Raiders.
God,
What's your
what a
thinking?
mess.
I know. What's
Uh,
your thinking?
I could see Harbaugh being here.
Yeah, I said that.
Um, I don't know. It's kind of a short list. They've been so terrible to one, they're kind of like your Chicago Bears. They don't stick with something long enough. They always cut and run way too soon, in my opinion. Um, Also, they don't throw a ton of support behind. But flip side, brand new stadium. They have a roster. I wouldn't say a talented roster, but they have a roster.
Yeah, I agree.
Um, so I don't know. It's a destination job, Vegas, blah. I mean,
Yeah.
again,
So
I think your mold is that young, prove it or lose it coach that's going to take a shot here, and I think that's
yeah,
the best you got.
yeah, okay. I disagree slightly, but I get what you're saying though. I said that I could see Vrabel ending up here because of the defense, Max Crosby and all that. And that's coming from people like Will Compton and stuff that saying that he'd be good fit because they need a Rich Bisaccia when he was there. They loved the whole rah rah kind of stuff, and Vrabel's a players coach. He's a man's man, players coach. So I think he'd fit in that in that dressing room. We basically been told that Antonio Pierce is getting the job,
Okay.
by all accounts, which I just hate because Matt Crosby came out and said, "Oh, if it's not Antonio Pierce, then I want to trade." I'm just like, pipe the fuck down, Max. He's a great player, but shut up because you're not going to win anything with Antonio Pierce. You're winning
Right.
nothing with him. You should be begging people like Harbour or Vrabel or all these people. They're not bloody Antonio Pierce, who did well for like
Mhm.
6, 7, 8 games, fantastically well. There's a big difference. Going back to Mayo, big difference between being look, what he inherited was disaster zone with Josh McDaniels. All he had to
Mhm.
do was just come in and actually make it fun again, and he did. But
Right.
doing that week in, week out when you are the main man and you've got to lay down all your pipes and your visions and stuff, that's a different game totally. So I would not select him. I did say this might be another destination for someone like Ben Johnson if you wanted. Uh, I think this would be a good. It's similar to what you said earlier about stepping stones. I think
Mhm.
this would be a good stepping stone for him. I really hope he doesn't go to like the Panthers, the Falcons, and stuff like that. I think our side that are mind in the Raiders, and I think he'd do well here. I think if he's anywhere else, I think he's under the microscope. I don't know what Ben Johnson's going to be like as a head coach. He's obviously a very talented OC, but we see very talented OCs all the time that don't translate into great head coaches. So
Yeah.
I think with the Raiders, they've got a very good defense, so he doesn't have to worry about the defense. The only thing he's fixed here is new quarterback, and he's got a very good offense here. We went through them before, the players and stuff like that. I think he's got a very good core base here. He just needs a quarterback on the offense. So I think he could come in and slot in a new play scheme, get a new quarterback in there, and I think he'd be a hero. And as I say, get a good DC, solid DC, like a Martindale or someone like that in there, give him that ownership. I think he could really. I think the Raiders are sneaky, sneaky good because they're just a quarterback away. I think
Okay.
they're obviously more than that away, but you've got Hunter Renfro, you've got Jacoby Myers, you've got Adams, you've got the running back. I forget his name now. Um, so I think they're good, very good core pieces. You put a decent, very good quarterback in there. I think I'm not saying he's winning Super Bowls, but I'm thinking he'll get him into playoffs and maybe win a couple of playoff games over the next few years, and that could you know propel him to a bigger job potentially.
Right.
Is the way I look at it. He's not going to change the world there, but I think he can plug him and place it and do decent there. Um, it's somewhere for him to consider, I think.
Yeah,
Um,
and I mean realistically, Pierce is going to be either here or Tennessee, so he's going to be the head
yeah,
coach of either Oakland or Tennessee. I
weird.
think both are going to be a train wreck, but He's going to end up one of those places. And the Raiders like to do the backwards thing, so it's probably. I mean, we want to look past what it probably is, but it realistically is probably going to be Pierce here. So
I think the reason I think they're going with Pierce here is because Rich Bisaccia did such a great job. The players wanted him, and they let him go.
Yeah,
I think that's why they're like, okay, we can't make the same mistake twice. Whereas actually, you're making a mistake, I think, if you are going to employ him. Pistachio is different. He's got so much more experience than what Antonio Pierce has. So, I just don't think it's a move. But you mentioned Tennessee there. I have fucking completely forgot about Tennessee. I've not even got them on the list. I completely forgot about them. So, let's go into Nashville now. I think this is. I'm not sure about this as a job, to be quite honest with you. Nice, lovely city, but is Will Levis your number one? Is he your quarterback? There's a lot of decisions to be made here. What do you think?
I think you have to. I mean, you're replacing one with the other. I think you bring in a defensive guy. You bring in somebody like Raheem Morris from Los Angeles, or you bring in Mike McDonald. Trying to think of other names. Dan Quinn's not going to fit here, but
No.
that defensive guy. It's obvious that your ownership and GM obviously want to build heavily on the defensive side of the ball and play that old school run it in defense, and then you do whatever favors you can, even if it's from your knees, to get a quarterback.
Yeah.
So I think that's the play here is you have to do something to try and get a quarterback in Nashville. But yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
it seems to be kind of a dedicated fan base. I've never been to a game there, but they seem to enjoy the team, that kind of thing.
Yeah.
I just, man, it's the philosophy that they're going to have. I think Harbaugh could fit here. I don't think he'd go. I don't think that they would, but it's Harbaugh style defense, run the football.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
but I don't think they
Yeah.
have the power to get him there.
No, I don't think he'll go there. I think if he doesn't go Chargers, I could see Harbour going to Raiders. And
Yeah.
I'll jump back to the Raiders. Do you think he would take JJ with him? JJ McCarthy?
Oh,
Because
under
he
the
knows,
Raiders pick.
he's obviously not going to be first round pick. It would be a second round pick. But it's just he knows Harbour. He knows how to play it. In a way, I see JJ McCarthy as a little bit like Brock Purdy. Just
Mhm.
reliable, can spin it, is accurate, can get the ball out. I think he could lead the team. And you said about run game. They got a good run game in with the Raiders. Good passing game. I could see it. I could see JJ McCarthy being there with Harbaugh. Just nothing flashy. Just a run game first, but then still spinning it out, and you've got the players to spin it out. I just thought about that just now this second. So I don't know what you think. You know better than me.
Yeah, I'm trying to so pull up a mock draft. Number 44, JJ McCarthy to the Raiders. So
Well,
yeah.
we're going to do mocks, but I can't see him going in the first round. So,
Yeah, no, this is mid-second round. So they have him. There's a mock through Tankathon, which is another good
yeah.
resource. And yeah, they have him second round going to Oakland, JJ McCarthy. So
Oh, two Raiders.
yeah.
Oh,
So here.
there we are. Great minds. I just think if Harbour goes there, I think he'd be ideal fit for them. I'd say if Josie's still here, I just see it as a. I got you.
Yeah, trade me real quick. Yeah, see right here. JJ McCarthy, quarterback Michigan, 44 to the Raiders. So
Jesus. Yeah, no, I could see. What's the top? Well, let's have a look at the first round then. I don't know who they
Oh, we're
got.
not doing draft, are we?
No, we're not doing
Williams,
draft. No. Yeah, there we are. So they got Caleb Williams in one. Okay. James Daniels,
Drake
3. Okay.
May. 3
Yeah.
quarterbacks? Ugh, gross. I don't like that.
Right, stop it. We'll go through that again. So they got Newton going in the first round to the Raiders. Okay.
Yep.
Okay, well, look, let's remove that. I don't want to see that because
Yep.
we're cheating now. I won't put the thing back in. So, yeah, so I'm just thinking, I could see that happening. Harbaugh go into the Raiders and J.J. McCarthy go in there. I think he'd be a good fit for him. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know.
Wilkes could be another one. The 49ers DC for
For
Tennessee.
Raiders. Oh,
No, for
sorry,
Tennessee.
Lovely. He is. That's a good shout. I like Wilkes. I know Josie should still here. Should be bang bang, fuck off, leave our man alone. But I think he would be a good fit there. Yeah, I haven't thought about Tennessee. I haven't thought about that. They just come. I forgot they were looking. To be quite honest, with you. The next one, then, final one, then you heard my speech. But Chargers. What do you have for the Chargers?
I'm like I said, I think it's a dumpster fire. I think it's the worst job in the NFL. I think it's a cancer. I have no idea why Kellen Moore did not take the job. No idea. An OC that he came from nothing. He was a Detroit Lions quarterback back in the day.
Oh, was he?
Yeah. Out of Boise State, backup quarterback for the Lions. Then he got a job on the Dallas staff. I believe he was a quarterback coach or something like that.
He was.
The OC for the Chargers, they offer him the job, and he says, "Hell no." So
yeah.
I think there's something there we don't know about, and if Kellen Moore knows it, the rest of the NFL knows it, and who's going to take that? Who's going to leave a spot to take that job?
No, fair. I just base it. I don't know about the politics about it. I'm just, I did well, but to be fair, I did use politics in terms of David Tepper for my Panthers one. But if you go just by squad, as you said, the top 5 team probably in the NFL, just who won that job. So there must be something that makes people not want it. You must be right,
Yeah.
So it could be there. Yeah, I've not looked at it that way. I just looked at the players and got blinded and gone, whoa, that's a talent, but they've not clicked. So, have you noticed as well that we got a mod now called It's Me, Josie81?
Oh, okay.
Because I went, fuck it, Mikey's not here, I'm going to make mod you. because through this year, earlier on, she's the only one that's come to every stream. She's literally the only one that's come to every single stream. So I was like, do you know what? Let's reward her. She's loyal. So obviously, you could, obviously, if you want to mod Shenny or whatever you want to mod, that's obviously fine. But I was just like, let's reward Josie, number 1 fan. So she calls herself number 1 fan as well. So, yeah,
100%. Yeah,
and Dave was here as well. Dave Umberger was here about his Go Pack Go stuff.
okay.
So he popped in as well. And some others have been in and out. I don't know who they are, but yeah, no, I'm intrigued by this. We're obviously going to be doing playoffs. I think we might be doing a stream on Friday again about the playoffs, about things like Bang Bang Niners Gang against the Packers and stuff like that. So we'll do a stream on Friday, go through the playoffs, and then we're going to work our way out. We might be towards the mock draft world,
yes,
which I've not touched yet. So I'm loving it. I just enjoy talking ball, man. This is, people say to me, "Oh, you stream a lot." This isn't streaming for me. This is ball. I love this.
yeah,
I wish
fun.
I could do this all day. I wish I could. I wish I could. Like, we got 2 viewers, right? I wish I could do this all day to thousands of people. I would.
Right.
I would.
Right.
So, but and just announce again for anybody who hasn't seen it, I am now officially Chicago's Bear fan, and it wasn't because of Mighty Me with the Lions or anything like that.
Yes, it was.
Or Erin with the Vikings, or with Dave Umberger with the Green Bay Packers. It was a wheel. It was a justified wheel. and I won it. You want to do a mock with all those two?
We have one from each. We
Yeah.
have one from each NFC North squad. I did want to, Granddad Dave. This mock draft, I'm starting to like it more because it has Bo Nix going 2 picks after the Green Bay Packers, 43 to the Atlanta Falcons. So I just want to let you know that. So
Ooh. So
hey,
Lambo Nix.
is
Uh,
now Mercedes Benz Stadium Bo Nix.
Bo Nix, yeah, he's there now. Yeah, that'll be interesting. Yeah, I can't wait to start doing mock drafts and stuff like that. But yeah, I'm super excited to be a Bears fan. I like Bears anyway, so I am genuinely looking forward to it. Especially number one pick in the draft. You couldn't ask for a better. Do you know what I mean? But now I've got like years ahead of you where everybody's suffering of being a Bears fan and be like, fucking hell. But it's all good. Right, have you got anything else, mate?
Excuse me. They're 1 and 9. They own
Yeah,
pick
1
1
and
and
9, yeah.
9. Yep.
Yeah.
So
And this is where we can discuss then a bit more about what they do with one and stuff like that. I think we can break stuff like that down because there's so many scenarios that we can go through. So if you got nothing else, I got nothing else, I don't think. Obviously there's GM positions as well, but I don't think people are that interested in GM stuff. I am, but
yeah.
I don't think most people are. So just stick with head coaches and see yeah, what happens and OCs and stuff like that, what happens with those as well. You got to learn the Super Bowl shuffle now. What's that? I don't even know what that is.
Oh, I'll have to send you a video. You're gonna have to
Oh,
learn it. You're gonna have to do it as a Bears fan.
oh boy, is it a base thing?
Yep.
Oh, sugar. There we are. Well, I mean, look, I get my tits out and everything, so I'm sure I could do it. Right, with that, thank you very much, guys. I appreciate you, love you all, as always. From me and Mike D, we're back Friday for another stream and then another playoffs then on Monday. Go watch the Bills against the Steelers tonight. Both myself and Mike D are on the Steelers, -10 or 10.5 if you just bet today. So,
Right.
yeah, Josie, we love you. Thanks for being here, and whoever else was here. Thank you as well, Dave and everybody. So, with that, we're out. See you later.
Take care, everybody.
I'll wait for that. You're a Bears fan, it's their thing. Fine, I will, Josie. I will. See you later.